Hi kids! Up for some hybrid picking today? I am. I've got a cool chord progression to show you. I'll play it first at full speed, and then I'll break it down slowly, bit by bit, and you'll have something new to play with this pick and finger technique. It starts with this. There it is at full speed and with some variations that I put in. You'll notice I didn't actually use the same pattern with every chord. I like to mix things up a little bit, and I hope that you'll do that too when you get these chords under your hands. The chords aren't hard to do. The chords are essentially one shape with some variations on the sets of strings that they're going to go on. The first shape will evoke an A major 7th. Not spelled out exactly in order, but the notes will be 7th fret A on the D string, 6th fret on the G string, which is C sharp, G sharp here on the B, and a high E. Those notes together evoke an A major 7th chord. A major 7th. I hope that's what I said. The right hand is going to be pick and probably the middle finger and the ring finger. And there's a couple of different patterns that I do. I'm going to play one of the patterns very slowly. Guess that wasn't that slow. Which was 4, 2, 3, 1, 4. That's 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I end with 4. And that, when you count up all the ties and note values, should be a 2-bar pattern at a quick tempo. That's one of the ones I used. Another one is this. That's just weaving between the strings. 4, 2, 3, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1. And I'm always alternating between a pick and a finger. A pick and a finger. And I think that was it. Every now and then I got lazy with it and just kind of hacked the chords when I went to change. That's fine too. If you get one pattern happening through the whole thing with no variation and no break in the timing, it doesn't really sound like music. It ends up just sounding like an exercise and nothing you'd want to, play for anybody. So now let's talk about some of the other chords. In that same position, after we're done with that A major 7 shape, I take the similar fingering and walk it down a set of strings, but now the fingering has to change a bit to accommodate the new string set. So now this is going to have an E major 7 sound. So I have 7th fret A string, it's an E, G sharp, D sharp, and B together. Now when you're playing the pattern on this chord, don't be worried if your finger were to catch that high E string. I've arranged the chords in such a way that even if it does, it still sounds fine and it still sounds like hopefully you planned it. And all we do is take those same 2 chords and walk them down a whole step, beginning on G. This now is no longer a G major 7 chord exactly. It ends up being a G major 7, 6 or something like that. Likewise with this one. Ends up being like a D major 6, 9, 7, 14, 19 kind of chord. Now when we move that chord progression down a whole step, I alter the fingerings so I don't have so much in the way of those double notes that you would get if I kept the chord shapes exactly the same way. Like this. Doesn't sound bad. You're welcome to do it, but it's not what I had in mind. This would be an F6th with a 9th, I guess. Oh, a 7th. An F, an A, and a D, and a high E. And that could also be like an offshoot of a D minor chord. Likewise with this C chord ends up being a C, and an E, an A, and a B. So again, another C extended major sound. And I end it with this, the original chord shape again that we played up here. This is going to be E, G sharp, D sharp, and E. And that'll be very close to an E major 7th. That shape down here with a B, a D sharp, an A sharp, and a B. That's kind of a neat way of playing a B major 7th. And then to take that chord and bring it around to the top again, I changed that B major 7 halfway through to a B7, a B dominant 7. So that's a B, a D sharp, and A natural this time instead of an A sharp, and a B string. And together, if I were to play the whole thing slowly, I'm varying the pattern. Another possibility is a Travis picking pattern. That would sound really pretty through the whole thing, I would think. That might be a good idea. Let's try that now. So you can see the tempo is slower. It still sounds pretty. Sorry about that. I think I probably have to rehearse it to get good at that Travis picking pattern, but the fast, sometimes it's easier to play things fast than slow, so that's probably saying something about my skill level. I commit it to muscle memory, and away I go with it. But anyway, that's a hybrid picking lick. So anytime you're working on a new technique like that, if it's a right hand technique or a left hand technique, one of the best things that you can do is compose a little idea, compose a little song. You might use that as an intro or an interlude, so it doesn't seem like you're just working on an exercise with the same boring old chords. Anyway, get that under your fingers, test out an acoustic electric at your local guitar store with it. Hope you like it. See you next time.